Okay, folks, I'm coming into view. There's been a lot of DMs lately about this live stream today, so I'm gonna kid up a little bit just to make sure none of you guys pepper me with rounds. Though most of you can't aim very well, I still don't want to get struck. The guy we're having on today is Matt Hopkins. A lot of you folks, this is why I'm wearing a kit, because a lot of you folks want me to ask like some really mean or really hard questions, and that's not going to happen, all right? So this whole effort for this part, this stage of the whole, election cycle is really just to kind of introduce these guys to everybody. It's not really to try to get you to make a final decision, because some of these guys are not going to be in the final running. I mean, they're not going to be the guys that we're actually going to be voting for. So I'm asking mostly the same questions that we've already asked everybody else. I like to do follow-ups if there's something interesting or they touch on something. But it's not going to be full tilt, why do you eat so much dick? I really don't. That's not my take on this at all. So if you guys are going to be salty about it, I'll go ahead and throw the kit back on. If this is your first time watching this, hey, how you doing, Manny? So if this is your first time watching us do this, this whole thing is basically trying to get the people that are either trying to get their petition signed or getting their petition signed out in front of you guys so you can see who's actually running if you want to go participate in their petition if they've already got it done. But I want to introduce these guys to everybody so we can all see who's actually in the running. I've got my list of questions. We're going to ask those. We've already had on Eamon Lynn. We've had on Steve Moneypetty. Today we're having on Matt Hopkins. We've got Mike Shadalov on Friday. And then we've just added Bruce Wells is coming on Sunday. So because of this, I've had somebody reach out and say, hey, by the way, Bruce is running. Get a hold of him. I was like, oh, crap, that's right, Bruce. So I sent him a message. We got him coming on Sunday. If there's somebody out there that's running or trying to get their petition signed or something like that, have them reach out to me or you reach out to me. If I've got them on my friends list, I'll reach back out to them. And we'll try to get them on this as quickly as we can so everybody gets a chance to say hi. Okay. Oh, last thing. I haven't done it lately. So this is an extra large. I'm going to give this away at the end. So everybody, if you're going to hang out to the very end, once we let Matt off the hook, I'll go ahead and give this shirt away and mail it out to you. It's an extra large. If you think you need to wear a 3X, you may not want to participate in that. Sorry, I've only got so many sizes. All right, Matt, go ahead and see if you can request to join here. I'm going to see what button I'm supposed to actually push. Invite. Oh, wait, damn it. The name was there for a split second. There he is. Invite. All right. Matt's being invited. I guess everybody can hear me okay. There he is. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Bill.
On.
How's it going?
Oh, dude, I had to do so much crazy crap today. I was actually at the range 30 minutes before I was supposed to be on this, and it's a 30-minute drive. So here I am.
Oh, wow.
I actually read the new board minutes just before I turned this on. So
perfect.
That's right here in this corner. For anybody interested, there's really nothing interesting in it at all. So it's talking about doing, making sure everybody's keeping updated on the board minutes. And then it goes on to, I think the only thing that's interesting in there is now they're requiring anybody running for any position to at least be an RO, which, okay, whatever. Well, Matt, welcome. You know what this is about. I've already told everybody you're well aware of what's going on here. So for those people that don't know, who are you and what are you out of?
So my name's Matt Hopkins. I'm out of Area 3, and that's basically the upper Midwest. I live in Kansas City, Missouri. I run a local club in Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri. I shoot in the area and stuff like that. So
okay,
that's me.
So where are you at with your petition?
I have not requested to get a petition from HQ. I had a previous petition from when I was Area 3 director. I have signatures filled out on that, and I have more than enough signatures to submit. It's the same signature form.
It's the same form. You just got
It's the
to
same.
didn't jump through the right hoops yet.
Yeah, I just haven't requested it from USPSA, but I plan on
Oh,
doing
okay.
it.
Hey, do me a favor. Tip down just a little bit. All I get is the your. There you go. There you go. Now you're centered up. All
You see
right.
the fan?
So yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay.
It's dirt.
All right.
It's dirty. It was making me cringe. So
All right.
all right. So we've got you've got your signatures. You haven't submitted it. You also haven't requested it. So once you request it, you submit the same old form. It's going to be the same thing to you. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
I'll request and submit the same day. I think it's not right to request beforehand. Like no one knows exactly what the position is going to be and all that. So the
Fair,
actual timeline hasn't even been announced.
and it is changing almost weekly now. So that's a good point. But all right, so I got on here as a question for those that don't know you. What division do you shoot? What's your favorite?
So I originally always shot production division. I shot that since I started in 2007. And just recently I picked up carry optics and been shooting that for the last 2 years now as my full-time division.
No, 2 years. You should be a GM by now, right?
I actually got it like just a couple months ago.
So yeah, you did. How long
Yeah.
have you been doing practical shooting by any name, any type?
So I've only ever done pistol shooting. I've never done multi-gun or rifle shooting or anything like that. I bought my first gun when after I turned 21 in 2007. Once I got that gun, I realized I probably didn't know how to use it as good as I should. I went out and sought training, and the instructors I took training with were actually USPSA competitors and IDPA competitors. They invited me out to matches like the following week and month, and I went out with them and then basically started shooting matches ever since then.
So you
So
started
15
right in
years
the
now.
USPSA? Okay, 15 years ago.
I don't know what my first match was. It might have been IDPA or USPSA. I'm not sure, but it was down in
Oh,
Tulsa somewhere.
it really stuck with you. All right. All right. So the first question on this list is what was the first thing you would like to see changed as the new president?
So I mean, we're going to get into if I was just president like right now, I would like to see a repository of ideas. I don't think I have the best ideas. I think everybody that has input to the organization should have input. We should take all those ideas and see what makes sense to do. Uh, I know like you have something later about rule changes and stuff like that. But I think we should get all the ideas, flush them out, get member input, and then see what we should actually do or what we're able to do.
Well, I
And
mean, right
obviously
now,
the president doesn't.
right now, the theory behind the way the structure is set up is that the ideas are being filtered by the section and area coordinators before they reach the president, and you want to see that bypass and just have all the ideas come out to everybody. Is that what I understand?
Yeah, well, I don't see what a problem that would be.
Oh, I don't see
Just
your
from my
problem at all.
experience,
Clarifying and asking questions.
yeah. No, I think if you email in, you should email all the area directors. So just it's not being held up by one that doesn't think it makes sense to talk about.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. All right. So, let's see here. I got one on here. The goal of the organization over the last 5 years has been a lot about building up memberships. Let's get new members. Let's retain members. Membership. What do you think can be done to help promote new clubs to help these shooters go find a venue to participate in?
So I think the first question to ask on that is how do we know what clubs are full and what take a long time to get into and what like sell out within seconds? Do we even know what that is right now? And what clubs are not full and have plenty of room to grow and just need some support that way? So I think that's the first question you have to ask. Because in my
Well, no,
area,
that's not the question
none
I'm
of the
asking.
matches fill up.
But for the regions where there's a lot of people that want to go shoot a match, and you've got them driving tons of time to go to these events, Do you think there could be something done? Do you think it's necessary to stand up some new clubs, to promote new
I
clubs?
think for sure, if there's clubs in geographic areas that are full, you definitely need to find something else. If you could work with a club and run 2 matches a month or something like that to help spread out, because there's only a certain
Ah,
number of people that are going to compete at both matches. Some people are not as interested and they only want to shoot 1 weekend a month or something like that. And then there's going to be some hardcore people that want to shoot every weekend, like if they
so
could.
the next trick will be trying to figure out how to get more staff to run a match twice a month. I got you.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah.
All right. So let's come back. These local clubs that have been running for the last 10, 15 years, and they pay all their dues and they have all their shooters and they take care of their match. Is there anything we can do to help keep these guys involved and like even just a thank you? Is there something that you think that could be done for these long-term clubs that have been with you, Ard?
I think the biggest thing is turnover rate on it for match directors and stuff like that. I think that's the hardest thing. And I think with the group, maybe the personality type that is in this sport, they don't want to give up control or allow like someone else to handle something. I think we should start trying to get those people that are doing that to mentor new people that could come in and help take some of that weight off of them.
Okay. Yeah, how would you? Okay, I'm going. I don't want to go too far in the weeds, but so the mentorship is something that's very important to actually keeping new clubs by keeping ROs coming in. So I see where you're
Not
going with
just
there. I'd
ROs,
be
it's
excited.
set up staff and
No,
people running the
and
matches and
MDs.
everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
I understand, but I'd be interested to see how you plan to make that happen. But we're not going to go all into weeds like that. But so this next question I've got on the list, I've asked everybody, but I'm going to ask it to you in a different way. It's going to sum up two of my questions. Um, so you are now on the board, so it's kind of an
Correct.
unfair set of questions, but the questions I've got, I'm going to say the questions I got written down here are the board gets paid in grief. What do you think can be done about that? And then the next question is the board's been making a lot of changes lately to their president's role. How do you see that, and how do you feel that's happening? But um, I'm not trying to get insight into what is going on. I don't want you divulging things that don't need to be divulged or anything like that. I'm more interested in like a general purpose. What do you want to tell people about what's going on with the board, and what do you think can be done about actually helping retain or create interest in people to run for these positions that we've got coming up?
All right. So the first thing to create interest, people have to know about when elections are. So I got a question for the people watching. We have almost 100 people watching, and you also, Bill. Do you even know what areas are up for election next year?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, we're not going to do the whole survey thing. I'm asking. We're just going to
No, no.
talk about you and
The
what you
first thing
think.
is communicating. I think people need to know what the positions entail, what are the responsibilities of it, what USPSA expects of the positions, and then we have to let people know what they are. They were so shrouded in secrecy before. Um, they never even had when the terms were on the website. I suggested that either earlier this year or last year, and they got that added. So you could go to the contact directory on the website and see when your area is up for re-election.
Okay, so
There's
a little bit
benefits also
better
to it. I
transparency. I
think
mean, other than the area director and presidency, what other roles are we talking about?
no, I think the roles of them, what USPSA expects of them.
The shrouded in secrecy positions that are coming up for election. What I only know of those two sets of positions.
Those are the
area
only
director.
two.
Oh,
Those are
okay,
the
all
only
right.
two.
I've never considered, but okay, all right, fair enough. What about so that's helping create interest in people wanting to participate. But what about the what's going on with the presidency changes that are going on within the board now?
Oh, okay. So here's the way I see that and what I've been told. The board of directors wants to bring stability to the organization no matter who is elected, an elected official. That could be an area director or that could be the president. They're all elected officials that change over, that could change over every year. We could have up to two new people on it, or up to three when the president's on there. So the board wants to bring stability to the org, basically doing the day-to-day stuff, writing the checks, making sure people's vacation time is approved, all the payments are made to all the vendors, stuff like that.
So that
And they
stability
want
that the stability you're talking about is the new CEO position thing that's being lined up, right?
yeah, they want
Okay.
that, not, they don't want employees to report to a elected position also.
Right. So
Go
they're
ahead.
doing they're trying to do a clean separation of CEO and president, but we're trying to discuss I mean, okay, so president can no longer write checks and pay the bills and do the employees thing. But what about the other changes to the actual role? What can be done? Is there any changes going on there that you're concerned about?
Uh, there's nothing solidified right now that they've said that the new presidential role will be. It's all
Okay,
just
so
talk.
it's all just talk right now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's that's your what you're seeing and how you're looking at it. I just want to make sure we got an answer out of the question itself. So I've discussed this before with everybody else, and there's like two camps of people. There's one that's like, oh
Yeah.
my God, we need to have 15 round limits in production. And there's the other camp that is like, oh my God, would you guys please stop making changes for now? So as far as rule changes, is there something that you see that needs to be done? Are you in the leave it alone camp? How are you feeling on that?
So right now I'm in the leave it alone and let it stabilize a little bit. While this is stabilizing, we need to determine what the principles of each division are. Does that make sense? So we know what
Sounds
single
like you're
stack is, right?
sounds like stage intent. We're trying to assign
Stage
some intent.
intent. What's that?
Yeah, like in the rule book, you don't. There's no intent behind the intent of the stage designer doesn't actually reflect what happens in the stage. So is it you're
Correct.
trying to develop as an intent for the division? Is that
No,
what
I
we're
think we
looking at?
just need to have what the principles of the division are before we can decide if it needs to be changed or modified or anything like that. Or if we have a principle that doesn't fit within one of the current divisions we have.
Ah, okay, all right, fair enough. So you're looking, yeah, okay. Um,
I mean, the easiest thing to explain is like we know what revolver is. It's guns with cylinders on it, right?
uh-huh.
The only thing
Go
I think
ahead,
we would
keep
have to
going.
change is if something came out in the industry that didn't fit into any current division. Like if some company came out with a laser gun,
I mean,
right?
that's a pretty far extreme. I mean, the ones I'm thinking of
That's
right
the
off the
easiest
bat
one to explain.
are like our thumb rests and thumb rests and things like that. But yeah, okay.
I mean, that's not super big thing. That's like a bolt-on thing. I think the
Yeah,
alien is
I
probably
know.
the biggest example of that, where they have a non-reciprocating optic and it doesn't really fit into anything except for open.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. You
But
get
it
that
does
gun, you're
fit
shooting
into a
open to open.
division. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
And
Well, there's hardly a gun on the market that wouldn't fit into it. Well, I have seen pictures and videos of a reciprocating revolver, so I think that would still be an open gun.
think it still would be, yeah.
I
Everything
think it
kind of
would be
fits in
an
that.
yeah. There's no division, so it goes to open, right? All right,
Yeah.
so I've asked my list of questions. This is the part where I open it up to the floor. Now, I want everybody to be aware. I am going to filter through these. I'm the one that's going to ask the question. You guys can write them in this thing. You can send the question to me in the side channel there. But I don't want to have people asking or you having to respond to questions that are a little bit out there right now. That's not what this whole process is supposed to be about. So, who's got a question? Hey, no, stop. Nobody's asking about how many chins he's got. We're not doing that right now.
Hey, when people go to personally attacking, you know you've already won, so keep it up. It's fine.
All right. So here we got one here. Let's see. Uh, do we think we can increase female participation? It's a fast-growing demographic in the gun owners. Do we think that needs some promoting within USPSA from the top down, mind you?
I think it's a hard thing to quantify. Is it the fastest growing thing in the industry because it's so small? And if you double one person, that's 100% growth. So I don't know what that number actually is. And I don't know how our sport negatively caters to men.
I don't know about negative. Well,
I meant negatively. I meant, yeah, how they cater to men more than women.
They don't. I think the question is asking is, do you think there's a way to capture some of that participation from the top down to get more females into the sport? Or do you? I mean, you can say no. No is a valid answer.
I haven't really thought about this. I think if we increase that people want to shoot this sport, more women will come in just based on the fact that more people are coming in general.
I'm sure Jaleese would love to have more competition. She loves beating people up right now. I feel the pain every time I compete against her right now. So this is a really good question. So what is your future vision for USPSA as an organization? Let's stop thinking about this election. Let's stop thinking about your term. What do you think the next 10-year mark looks like for USPSA?
So I would like to see more professionally ran matches. I think we can get to a point where there's more people that are shooting than currently. I think we can some areas are full, so they won't have room to grow with people. I don't know. I think if we had something that could anybody could come out with anything they have and shoot the sport. And if they want to get more invested into it, they can. You could see higher levels of competition, stuff like that. But I don't think we should do anything that's going to affect the local people either. People that come out once a month or anything like that, or once a year, or just the local people that don't. They come out just for fun, and it's like a golf event.
Now, I mean, Nationals is supposed to be the most professionally run event we've got going on. How do you see it being better there, or do you think the areas need to be better for their matches? What are you seeing here?
Well, I think everything filters
down. You use the term professionally run matches. I'm trying to get a feeling of what that means to you.
Well, I think the first thing is the facilities. We have an event at a facility that can't hold it, no matter how nice it is and anything like that. But if it can't physically hold the event that is there, that facility should not be considered to hold a Nationals.
Okay. So
if a range only has 14 bays,
if the facility is too small, you don't see that as being a professionally run match. I'm trying to gauge
what not at all.
Professionally run match means to you.
Staff that is there for the best competitors calling, so people get accurate scoring.
Because the way you answered it with the phrase there, it makes me feel like you think there's something wrong with the way that the Nationals is being run as far as staffing and it being not professional. Is it just because of dinner? Because dinner was just
dinner is an afterthought. Dinner is an afterthought. I think they've done a lot to improve it.
Well, yeah, bring McDonald's now.
Come on, they improved it for the second match. They did good on the second high cap match. No, I think we could have better professional ROs. I think there's great examples out there that are already there, but there's also examples that should not ever be at another national level event.
Gotcha. All right, so I'm going to ask two more questions. There's a lot of people want to ask you a lot of questions, and I love you guys so much for asking so many questions. But I've got to filter through some of these and make sure that I'm not pulling one from a potential running mate. Let's see. All right, now I've heard this one coming around. This actually, all right, let me throw this one on here. All right. There's been some people talking about making it a priority for the GMs and Ms to get into matches first. Is that something that you think is necessary?
No, not at all.
All right, we'll put this down now. Okay.
I've never said that.
I'm not
I think
saying you
that's
did. I'm
no. I think a certain
having
group of people are using that to weaponize it against me personally. But those words have never come out of my mouth. It doesn't make any sense. And if we had a place that actually could hold nationals, like if we talk about Cameo with 24 bays, we'll have enough to have everybody that wants to get into the event get into the event. The problem holding it with a range with less bays, you physically don't have the room to have the number of squads to fill it up.
Gotcha. So that you're very upset about the size of the bay that they've chosen for one of the. I got you.
It shouldn't even be considered to host a national event.
It's just not big enough.
It's not big enough.
I've heard that plenty of times. All right, so the last one I'm going to ask you, because we've asked this in the last one, and it's important to some of these guys. So, as far as USPSA, its members, its world-class shooters, how do you see that interaction going forward for you in the organization with IPSC? Because we are just a region of IPSC. How do you see that us participating either better or less, or get our world-class shooters over there? What do you see happening?
The shooters that want to go to those events will find a way to go to them. I don't think USPSA needs to pay for it. The people that are interested in those events are probably less than 200. And on the off-world shoot years, it's probably less than 40. We have 35,000 members. Only half of those have actually had an activity in the last 12 months. I think we need to put most thoughts into those people.
So we're not paying for them to go. The question that was revolving around it last time was like, look, we've got people that want to go play IPSC shotgun, but they can't get qualified unless they go to PCC. So
that was actually not true.
Okay, well, shit, I don't even know. I'm listening to somebody else.
I know. No. The World Shoot Selection Policy was based on multi-gun nationals, and people had to submit basically a resume of about 10 or 12 different questions, and they used the results and how many matches people have previously shot. Either IPSC matches. There was all in there. It said multi-gun nationals. It had area matches. It had USPSA nationals. There was some criteria they used to choose it, but it was not based on a PCC nationals finish.
Well, okay, not PCC nationals. I summed it up as the 2-gun event they had last year, but
that's not part of any qualifiers.
But that was the multi-gun national match from last year.
That's true, but it's not that they're not using that for any qualifiers for Shotgun World Shoot.
Okay, but so you're saying that for Shotgun World Shoot, if somebody's going over there representing us, they're going over there based off of all pistol shooting, all pistol and rifle shooting?
No.
And maybe think some shotgun at 3-gun events, or
I think this is a huge gap USPSA has. USPSA has control of the IPSC world slots. There's no shotgun only or rifle only matches in the country to send those people to qualify for the IPSC world shoot slots or any IPSC match slots. I think this is a huge gap. I think we should try to find people that want to run those matches so we could have those matches, people can attend them, and then we can let the people that attended them qualify and go represent the U.S.
Gotcha. No, having the match to people playing to then go play in the IPSC would be awesome. So
I think the biggest problem is participation in that, though. They used to hold 1-gun only, like shotgun only matches. I think the Area 4 director, Mike Pinto, used to put them on down in Oklahoma City. They were not well attended.
Were they USPSA shotgun or were they something?
They were like IPSC shotgun.
IPSC shotgun, okay.
Yeah.
So there's not really a USPSA shotgun. It's USPSA multi-gun. So,
correct.
Okay. I do have only one more question, and then you can shut it down with whatever you've got left to say. But it's basically, Steel Challenge is a big part of this sport. As far as we own it, we're trying to develop that sport as well. Where are you at with Steel Challenge? How is, do you have a good contacts within that community, or are you a part
I
of the
have
Steel
several
Challenge
good
community?
I have several good contacts in there. I am not 100% participant in Steel Challenge. I shot Area 3 match this year. I started the first club in Kansas at Mill Creek when I was on the board of directors with them and started that. And shot Kansas State Steel Challenge match several times. I think it's a very important part of the sport. I think we should actually look at having them their own board so they offer input into their own rule changes and don't let anybody else that's either not interested make rule changes for them. It doesn't make sense. Like, let them have input onto what they want to do.
Stop reading the comments, dude. You just gotta not look at it.
Yeah.
Look at me. Look right here
All right,
because
all
it's
right.
messing up your whole train of
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so you think there should be a separate, complete board for Steel Challenge? They have their own directors. They have their own president.
I think it could be interesting on that. The problem is right now USPSA board of directors represent everybody, any discipline under USPSA. So that's multi-gun USPSA Steel Challenge.
I'd
Steel
love to
Challenge.
see a Steel Challenge Central area director or two, honestly.
Yeah, I think they should
this
run.
Isn't about me.
There's not anybody keep preventing them from running, but I think
they just have to.
They have to have the votes and
sort
stuff.
Of their sport is stagnant as far as rules and stages, so it's all very structured already. There's no like a bunch of revolving stuff. You don't have anybody demanding a 15-round production, and it's Steel Challenge. So they may not feel the need, but if there's Steel Challenge guys out there that think there needs to be updates or changes, then they need to start trying to get on the board and make the rules that they think are important to them. So, yeah,
100%.
So, as a final toodly-doo, you got anything you want to let people know about you and why you're running and what you think about running for president for USPSA?
Yeah, I'm good with a couple more questions too, if you want.
No, I don't want. I want to keep it short.
So this is my only comment I'm going to say. This is the members' organization. If there's not people that are going to step up and either offer input, offer help, run for positions, and then obviously vote when the vote happens, we get 25 to 30% of the members that vote during elections. It's pretty consistent across every area and presidential run. So basically, get out there, let your board members know what you're thinking. I'm not going to influence that either way. My opinion is only one opinion of many. I think I looked actually today, we have 2,500 people in Area 3. I'm only one of those people, but I need to hear like what you guys think. And I think this is a big gap that the current area directors and current president don't have. They don't get a lot of input.
Well,
compared to the number of people.
Well, that's one of the things we're trying to solve here. I voted in the last election. I didn't even know anybody from the whole. There was only 2 mics, and I still couldn't decide which one was the worst mic. I mean, best mic, whatever.
Same thing.
But
right?
yeah, hey Matt, it was great having you on. Once the election starts, I'll be asking you guys to come back on so that we can actually talk to the people that are really running and maybe ask a little bit more in-depth questions. But I just wanted to get you out and let people see who you are and what you have to say about running for president. So go ahead and hit that little X, and I'll talk to you later, man.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
It's easy. All right. Well, Matt has been the first one that actually knew how to shut the app down quickly. That was awesome. All right. And my hair is all awesome today. So that was Matt. So the last thing we've got going on, we've got 2 more to do yet. We've got Mike Shadalov on Friday, I think at 6. And then we've got our new edition Bruce Wells. We'll have him on at Sunday at 6. Both of those are Eastern time, so please come join us. We will ask a lot of the same questions. If you know somebody else that's running or that is doing their petition and trying to get involved, please have them reach out to me so I can get them on here as well and introduce them to everybody. That's all I've got. Last thing I said is I'd give away this extra large shirt, pasting and scoring. So let's see. I'll ask this question. What was the controversial item I brought out on my first live interview? First person I see that answers that. Anybody? It's not let's go. Come on. Anybody? The controversial item. I don't really. I don't think the penis was the dildo was not the most controversial thing about that interview. It was something else, but it was involved that I had leaning up against my wall. Yeah, the dildo was there, but that wasn't it, guys. Why does everybody think dildos are freaking controversial? I had what was the dildo in? I think Tim just wants to say dildo over and over and over again. There you go, Dave. You got it. Dildo on PCC. The PCC. Me owning a PCC. That was the controversial item. All right, guys. Dave, shoot me a message. I'll get you squared away. Guys, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you Friday and then Sunday. And then we'll see how this election turns out. Take it easy, guys.